I think this current outbreak has highlighted a historical lack of investment in the healthcare infrastructure side, and also has is changing the consumer behavior in a pretty dramatic way. If you remember during the SARS time, 2003, this really changed the way Alibaba was doing business from a 2B model to a 2C model, elevated itself to become an internet global giant. And this recent outbreak and is also changing consumer behaviors in a very significant way. Our research team has focused a lot of time collecting data, understanding what that means for the longer term. So specifically for healthcare side, I think there will be pent-up demand and also a lot of government support to enhance the healthcare infrastructure because it really highlights the lack of it historically. If you also sum up all the provincial level governments announced investment plans, in the past when China has a slowdown, there are essentially three things that will help mitigate the slowdown. One is export. The trade environment clearly is not helping. The second is domestic consumption, and this virus is really changing the consumption behavior in the last 2 months, and the country has come to a temporary halt. And thirdly is investment, fixed asset investment. If you sum up all the provincial plans recently, these it adds up to somewhere around 34 trillion RMB of infrastructure plans. But what's different from the last time during financial crisis in 2008 is these investments are unlikely to be all concentrated on the traditional infrastructures. And this time will be a lot more focused on the new infrastructure, a lot related to internet infrastructures, 5G, healthcare infrastructures, AI, advanced manufacturing. So things that will have the stimulus for the future advancement of various industries.
Okay, so that's on the infrastructure side. I mean, we're looking at publicly listed names there. Obviously, you're looking at private plays, and I wonder what's happening in the private area for the consumer, those companies, because it seems to me that you're suggesting that we're not just going to see a temporary shift in the consumer that may be changed all by a pent-up demand and a huge return to normal, that it may change the way the consumer works for a long time running, perhaps forever. Is that right?
Absolutely. I think, for example, we focus on a number of industries, so we're seeing big changes in those industries. In the education side, traditionally has been bipolar. There's an online portion of it, very much focused on tutoring specific subjects, related tutoring. And on the offline schools and kindergartens and educational institutions, now we're seeing kind of a combination of both, is online capability and offline capability. And some of the e-learning has been very suitable for highly structured learning. Very topical. But for unstructured learning, particularly for younger age groups, in offline presence, offline teaching is very important. So how do you combine the education technology with the offline channels, offline venues to incorporate into the learning? And these are things that are highly fascinating for us and also a development area of interest for us. For another example, during the last 2 months, I think most people in China realize their only outdoor experience is going out for shopping for groceries. And so that's the only kind of offline activity. So we invest in grocery supermarket companies, and we're seeing dramatic, significant changes, significant increases in the demand and people purchasing groceries. But then it's no longer only offline either, because the delivery capabilities are becoming very critical, logistical infrastructures, as well as the digital offerings. So more and more people ordering online, but picking up themselves or getting delivered. So having, again, the combination of online, offline capabilities will be critical in tomorrow's China.